Friends, before sharing today's horror story, I'd like to tell you an interesting fact. 80% of the people who watch our stories enjoy our videos but haven't subscribed to our channel yet. If you're among those 80%, you just have to do one small thing in this video. You will see a subscribe button below this video. Just press that subscribe button. That's it. All you need to do is that, and while you're at it, also press the bell icon so that you'll be the first to know as soon as our latest video comes out. It's Chatad Sudada Manda. Mr. Beast and the Haunted Jail. Friends, if you watch videos on YouTube, then you surely know Mr. Beast. In fact, you might also know that Mr. Beast does various challenges in his videos. But in 2019, for his new YouTube video, the world's top YouTuber Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, thought Mr. Beast decided to do something different this time. Instead of going to a deserted jungle or island, he decided to go with his friends to one of the world's most haunted places and spend 24 hours there with his team. Tariq, Chandler, Connor, Chris, Josh and Jake were ready for this challenge, but they were also scared. They packed ghost hunting equipment like EMF meters, infrared meters, night vision cameras, lots of batteries, flashlights and walkie-talkies, and set off for the Ohio State Penitentiary, an American prison, a facility that has been closed for years and is considered one of the most haunted places in the world. As soon as they entered the jail, they understood why people call this place so scary. Spanning 250,000 square feet, this 6-floor large prison with 100 jail cells looked extremely frightening. The guard there told them that after a fire broke out in the jail in the 1930s, 300 prisoners died. Many prisoners died fighting among themselves, and several took their own lives. It is said that the spirits of many of those prisoners still roam the jail. In fact, that guard mentioned that he has personally felt invisible forces in the jail several times. In fact, the D there asked a sentry he entered a prison where inmates were kept solitary. There, now, Apo, Denti, Aki Isse, one of his fellow guards even lost his life. They warned everyone not to separate from each other and not to make any kind of foolish joke. And he said that inside the jail, there's also a hospital and a church where they should never go, even by mistake. Mr. Beast and his team got a bit nervous hearing all this. But still, they bravely took their camera and went inside. Their goal was to see if there really are spirits there or not, and if there are spirits, to complete the challenge of spending 24 hours at that place. So, ismegi isava shajnate. When they went inside and turned on their paranormal devices, a sudden loud noise was heard and the lights on their EMF meter began to blink. This meant that spirits were nearby. Everyone got a little scared. After checking out one part of the prison, they reached the main hall and set up their base camera there because it was quite large and close to the entrance. Then Mr. Beast said that they should split up again and explore the place once more. It was decided that Chandler, Mr. Beast and Josh would explore the hospital, while Chris, Jake, Connor and Tarek would explore solitary confinement, the part of the prison where inmates were kept in isolation. Decided that Chandler, Mr. Beast and Josh climbed the old iron stairs of the hospital, walking in the corridor with their EMF meters and recording video. Then they spotted a table and a poster cut out in a room. It was from a popular movie. Seeing this, they both started joking about those movies. At that moment, the EMF meter in Chandler's hand started blinking. And right then, Mr. Beast felt as if a loud siren was going off from somewhere. This was quite strange because there was no active siren there. Moreover, Chandler and Josh didn't hear anything. When Mr. Beast pointed their EMF towards that siren, it started fluctuating even faster. They began heading towards the source of the siren. The EMF meter was blinking more rapidly as yay. and near an open room by a light
nearby,
the EMF meter started flickering continuously. As soon as Mr. Beast tried to enter the room, his head started feeling heavy and he began to feel dizzy. So, Mr. Beast...
Spring has arrived.
But Mr. Beast remembered that the sound of the siren came from a bit further back, so he started moving in that direction. They realized that after wandering for so long, they were moving in a circle, which was very unusual because they remembered there was a different path every time.
They are taking it.
Meanwhile, Tariq, Chris, Jake and Connor were inside the solitary confinement block. This was the place where prisoners were left without food or water.
Bulogs use night vision for
Farrett,
push.
carrying a camera, reached a haunted hotspot where they heard from a guard about spirits scratching someone and the guard being killed. Suddenly, Citrus's head started feeling heavy and he began having trouble breathing. Jake
in that room?
Was looking at eerie things when he suddenly screamed loudly. He saw a strange dark shadow coming toward him. When the other two heard Jake's screams and turned towards him, they also saw the shadow approaching them. But then suddenly, it disappeared into thin air. When they discussed the shadow among themselves, all three got very frightened. At that moment, Jack felt that someone standing next to him was breathing, but there was no one there. And then suddenly, that dark shadow appeared right in front of them. And seeing it, all three screamed and ran from there, and on the walkie-talkie, they started telling their team about it in fear. Mr. Beast, Chandler, and Josh heard them talking. But they thought those guys were playing a prank on Mr. Beast and trying to scare them. And then, while they were talking, a very strange sound came from the walkie-talkie. And the walkie-talkie went silent.
Went blind.
An old church was also built in the jail. Mr. Beast thought he would just go to that church.
We will look at the charge.
They would leave the place. Because now Mr. Beast was also a little worried about his friends. The church used to be an execution hall before, meaning a place where people were hanged.
They say that among
Many
them,
people who were executed there,
two spirits.
even today, that churches...
They wander in the area.
Mr. Beast, acting as a priest, sat Chandler down in a seat, thanked him for coming, and started talking about how the place is haunted. Just then, his walkie-talkie started buzzing again. But this time, Chris was asking for his location on the walkie-talkie. Mr. Beast joked and gave his location. But then, there was a strange disturbance on the walkie-talkie. When the three listened carefully, a woman's voice came from the walkie-talkie saying, "It's raining outside. It's raining
Again
outside."
and again.
And this voice didn't seem like that of a normal woman to them. Rather, it sounded extremely eerie,
Felt like losing something
as
precious.
if the woman was laughing in a strange way. And then suddenly, that voice stopped coming. The three of them couldn't understand what had happened to them.
Everything okay
So
there
they...
with the bicycle?
No, they went back towards the hall to their base camp. But then they noticed that it had started raining heavily outside. They could also hear the sounds of thunder. Chandler and Mr. Beast...
Jaws became very scared.
But Mr. Beast was enjoying watching all this. And Mr. Beast had something else on his mind. What was going on in Mr. Beast's mind? And what happened to Mr. Beast's friends who saw that dark shadow? The next part of this story is already live on our podcast on Spotify, so go and listen to our podcast quickly. Wait for next week and watch Mr. Beast Horror Story Part 2. And definitely check out our new story on the crime channel, the Renuka Swami murder case. We've explained the whole story of how a popular film superstar took the life of their biggest fan. do not miss out and definitely subscribe to Crime Show. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel Kuni Monday.